Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Excuse me. Today, again, day 9 of 15 of the Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I know in my posts, sometimes I've been changing my picture. I get the days wrong, but we are on day 9, just trying to do this in 3-week periods. But today we're going to be talking about the numbers of, what you need to get to a certain number. So if you haven't done this already, grab a pen. You have this recording on my Facebook if you want to go through it again. And again, I'm just giving you a basic idea of some numbers to hit, contacts and closings. But again, this is all specific individually for each agent. I'm happy to go through a whole spreadsheet with you. And then this is kind of gross income. It's not going through any of your expenses. So Gary in his book is great. Of course, he's shooting for the stars. He's given numbers that making $1 million in real estate. I want to start off at a little lower level with most agents, especially our newer agents. I know I got a lot of great new agents that just got their license watching this, and you know who you are and you're already doing transactions. That's great. And just want to give you a goal to hit, because I've realized in all these years that a lot of times my mind works this way. My mind works from the start back. My mind process always works with what's the most I can do, and kind of inch down until I hit a point where I know that that's how much work I can do, how many calls I can make, how many transactions can I do, how many people can I contact in a week or in a day. It's all comes down to numbers. It does. I mean, ultimately, this is my Tony Geraci's take on real estate. Is it all comes down to numbers and organization of how many people you contact, how many people are in your database. But the agents with the, I wouldn't say better skills, but easier to communicate, people tend to trust them or like them or bond with them quicker, end up getting conversion rate. So they still need the numbers. So if you say you take 1,000 contacts and you take 1,000 agents, I'll say 100 agents making 1,000 contacts a week, that the agents that can communicate or bond or are easy to deal with or whatever reason have a better way of converting those contacts into leads and those leads into sales. So I see it. It all runs into the numbers game. I could feel it with certain agents and people. You see it when I just say visualize things that you've bought recently, or do you go to, not right now maybe, but maybe do you go to a certain restaurant because you like the server there? You like the atmosphere, you like the feel, but the food is not as great as somewhere else, but the service is terrible. Or you ever go in there and go, wow, I love that salesperson. They were very nice on that. I'm the one that I spend, I don't shop. I go in for the ease of convenience and the people I like more. I keep on going back to the people I like the most. I don't even shop, the price. Some people are price, some people are service, but in real estate, it's all about service and connection and building relationships. So again, please don't think that when you see successful agents and you see their signs on the yards, you see their numbers, you see that they have numbers. They're making the calls, they're making the connections. There's no magic pill, there's no magic bullet, there's no magic something. They're not getting an influx of just sitting around getting leads. They are reaching out and actively doing these things that I'm telling you. Talk to any realtor that's successful. And well, again, I use that word success is different because everybody has different levels. But just talk to an agent that is hitting the numbers that you want to hit. It's not like they're sitting back and people are falling in the door and they're relaxing. They're actively doing some of these things I'm going to go over. So I'm going to go over the numbers. So if you want to go have a pen, paper, pencil, kind of go over this, or rewind this recording when you have time. But So I'm going to go over an example of what you can make on a commission. And I'm basing this on, if you want to make, let's start, not, this is not a low number, but say you want to make $100,000 a year, not $1 million a year, but $100,000 a year. So this is kind of where you go. In Ohio, and most of you watching this are in Ohio, of course, our average sale price is around 165 to 175, in that range for average sale price. So you might be in a higher category, you might be in a lower category, but if you want it, let's just for this purposes go over the average sale price. So if you're a buyer's agent and average sale price $175,000, normally a commission, a 3-2, we'll just say a 3-2 commission split, that's going to be about $4,500. So $175,000 average house, gross commission to you, $4,500. If you, of course, are with Century 21 HomeStar and have been an agent with us more than a year, you're on an 80% commission structure or higher if you're a higher agent doing more production. So on an 80% commission structure, that's $3,600 to you. So easy math, $4,500 gross, 80% commission, $3,600. That's what you would make on a $175,000 sale gross. And times that by 30 sales, $108,000. So you're going to need 30 sales a year to make an average sale price $108,000, or just round it $100,000 a year. Now let's divide that again. Let's get down to the smaller number so you could see when you first talking, especially the new agents or any agent that has not had 30 sales a year, and there are several agents that are doing that. I know when you're new to the business or at a certain production of the national average of realtors, the national average is just 4, 5, 6 transactions a year. Again, there's a little over 5 million transactions in 2019, and there's 1.4 million realtors. Do the math. 5 million, a little more than 5 million sales. I think it's 5.3 million sales, 1.4 million realtors. Divide, there's that national average of sales compared to how many realtors are out there. So I know when you're doing that average of 4, 5, 6 transactions a year, if you're in that level, it's hard to imagine 30. How can I do 30? Okay, so if you divide that by 12, you're at 2.5. 2.5 sales a month will get you to 30 transactions a year. Now, this is where the debate of how many connections, how many calls, how many people in your database that you need to have to get to that level. And I'm going to give you some rounded general numbers on that. So I give this all to agents in bite-sized pieces of things that you can accomplish. No matter if you're full or part-time, you can accomplish this, is that 100 direct connections a week. 100 direct connections a week. Basically, what I mean by that is people that you are physically calling, connecting with, trying to talk to, text, not email, nothing general. You're trying to say, hey, call me back. I want to talk to you. So it could be, in my opinion, could be a text like, hey, this is Tony with Central and HomeStar, or if they know who you are, even better. Just have your signature in your text. Say, hey, I would love to talk with you. Do you have time? I want to tell you what's going on in real estate. Just want to see if you have anybody, yourself or anybody you know, that is interested in buying or selling a house. I would love to be the person that you recommend to those people. So if you have 100 connections a week, 20 a day, Monday through Friday. So 20, 5 days a week. So you have 20 contacts. Everybody could do 20 contacts a day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 20. You probably get a hold of 3 people. So don't get discouraged. The numbers are the numbers. You might have 20%. I'll just give you, out of 100 people, you might have 20 to 25% even respond to you. That's it. People just don't respond. And don't worry. Don't get discouraged. And if you have more, you're great. They love you. They know you. They trust you. If you get a higher rate of 20, 25%, you are awesome. I feel that you have a relationship with these people where they feel even obligated to even respond to you. And no response is a good response. Do never, ever, 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 ever take anybody off your database unless they asked you to take you off the database. And then this is my disclaimer, depends on how they ask you. You might want to just slow it down to once a year. Depends on how upset they are. If you're going to have, and any response is a good response. So don't worry about negative response just for a call, just for a text. You're not inconveniencing them. You had a relationship with, you have a connection with them. If you want, you could, if you're just, these are people, referrals, people you know that your contact, they're in your database. If you're making cold calls, if you're just picking people out of the sky to be on your database that don't know, you shouldn't, but you should be connecting these people somehow in a tree of connections of why they know you, and you might want to remind them. Again, I don't want to go into total detail with that. That'll take forever, because I would love, that's one-on-one of how to connect with people and make sure they know where you're connected to them in your life. But again, back to 3%, about 3% will actually get to want to talk to you and talk to you about real estate. So 100 contacts a week, you'll only get about 3 to 5% in that range that even discuss real estate and they might be interested in the future. And then that brings down to 1%. 1% will, again, this is debatable. Anybody watching this, you'll read other books, you'll have that, the certain percentage, but one of those people will turn into a client, will turn into a closing. Eventually, it might not be that week, but if you're making calls consistently every week, making connections every week, those connections you're making today will be sales 60 days from now, and then connections tomorrow will be 60 days from now, or the ones you make this week will be 60 days from now, and it keeps on going. That's why you have to be consistent. That's why you have to be consistent with this. So one will turn into a sale. So I'll even bring that down to less than that. I'll bring it down to less than 1. And then that brings you to your 2.5 sales a month. That is very, very possible. 20 calls, 5 days a week to people that you know, connections, your sphere of influence, friends, somewhere connection, and that's a whole nother, and I might go over that tomorrow a little bit, of making, following the connection, reminding people and giving you tips about that. But I don't want to go up too off topic of what Gary is going off in the book. But so 1%. Now, let me give you how many people you need in your database to bring that down to a different level. So you know where to start. So this is where you have to just decide how many times you're going to be connecting with people. So there's 52 weeks in a year. So if there's 52 weeks and you're doing it every week and you just want to reach everybody once a year, which is way too low, that's 5,200 contacts. That's too low. That's way too low. So you want to contact people, in my opinion, at least 4 times a year. Minimum 4 times a year is my opinion. 4 times a year is only about 1,300 people. So hopefully I got my math right. I was going through this again in my notes, but I'm pretty sure I got my math right. It's 1,300 people. So you want minimum of 1,000 to 1,500. You want to do the exact math, but you're not going to do that. Don't cut people off, or if you're low, just continue on. You want to have a good, solid minimum of 1,300 to 1,500 people in your contact. You are calling that are, I refer to as A people, people in your sphere, friends of friends, family, past clients, direct referrals from people, all of that. You have to have a great database, and every day you're adding to that. You should be adding to that. You should be asking for referrals. Again, this is a whole nother class of training, is how, when you're going over scripts and going over talking with people, what to say to them if they're not interested, and referring them to other people, or getting names and numbers of people that you can call because they recommended you. That's a whole nother thing, and I'll probably go over some more of that tomorrow. But I wanted to give you the numbers on there. So today, this is the numbers you should be writing down. You need to get up to over 1,000, a little over 1,000. If you want 1,300, 1,500 people on a list. I know that sounds like a lot, but start small. Just start adding to it daily, people. And then you're going to be on a rotation if you have those people of 4 times a year, every 4 months, or every couple months, 2 months. Every 2 months, you'll be reaching out to them. You'll be connecting with them. You'll be asking them if they know anybody, getting referrals, adding people. After a year or two, when you have notes, after a while, you might want to take people out of the calls, direct calls, but keep them on as emails. You should be working your database every day. So how much does it take? Time does it take to make 20 phone calls? That's up to you, and you got to track that. So then you could bring it down to organization of how much time it takes. Everybody's different, because when you call and text, you might get on the phone with someone, and I don't want you to limit yourself to a certain time, is build a relationship with those people. So after you make 20 phone calls, texts, trying to communicate with a minimum of 20 people a day, you're going to figure out how long it takes you. Hypothetically, it takes you 2 hours a day. Then 2 hours a day you have to prospect, 2 hours a day, and these are my core people, my A/B type people that you know that someday they'll refer you business or you get business from them. And if you're consistent and persistent about it, it will work. The numbers don't lie. This is sales. This is real estate. This is getting your name out there. It will work, but you have to have a system. We've already went through this. You have to have a system. You have to have something that's easy for you to use. If you're a personality that you love to talk to these people and communicate with them even better, it's easy for you. Like, wow, this is, I have all these people that I've touched sometime in my life, and former, you were a student with them in high school, you were in college with them, you were, you're friends of friends, you used to work with them at a past job. Anything, you got to build that database up there. So today, I just wanted to go over those basic numbers with you. I have these written down, so anybody want to reach out to me, I could easily text this to you. My notes, easy text it, email to you. It's in very easy format, and you could add to it. So if you want it, a simple quick click of my phone and I send it to you, and you'll have it. So just let me know. You could text me. You have my number. Everybody should have my number. It's there on my Facebook. Send me a text. I'll text it right back to you. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll go over a little bit more of scripts, but I want to stick with Gary's book, but I'm going to kind of I don't want to go too off topic. So tomorrow is Friday. We'll see everybody at 11, and thank you very much for watching today. Have a good week. Bye-bye.